Hello, welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a role-playing game written in Elm that's going to help teach about design patterns. And we did a little work last time on the fonts, and I did a little research afterwards, just trying to say, like, is there a nice headline font we can start using? And I found a few Google fonts we can try at some point. Unifractor Maguntia, Unifractor Cook are sort of Gothic style, kind of look like old style German. Bocor, I don't remember what that's like. Bangers is kind of a comic, handwritten comic font maybe or something like that. But we'll come back to this one. I just wanted to capture this somewhere and see what we can do with it. But today we're going to look at answers and dialogues. So we tried working on the answers at one point, and there was some stuff around selection. I didn't think we were getting anywhere, but since then, reflecting on it, I think I can make it do what we want. So I thought we'd start there. All right, let's get to the IDE. All right, one sec. Be right back. Okay, let's see. So one thing I've been doing is a little bit of cleanup on the images side. For testing purposes, we just use 3 images, or 3 rooms, and I tried to do something to get the names of them changed, and then also started creating a JSON file, and we'll pick up on that at some point, but it's got the room name and then the information. Basically, it's for the dungeon. So the dungeons got all these, a dictionary of rooms, basically, and a key for the room, and then image description and so on. So at some point, we'll start reading this JSON, but I just wanted to get it kind of in there for now, and we'll just check in what we have. You don't get to see it. 10:03. All right, and the way I'm working, I'm added something, kind of a, well, come on, wake up. It's okay. There's the save all. All right, so line 505 there. It's kind of a quick commit. Add everything, commit it with the head file, which is the same as the first line of todo.txt, and then push. So we'll execute that and just quickly get things going. Okay, so a little bit of improvement. And what are we going to do? Okay, we've done this. All right, puzzle displays dialogue, trigger, and response. I think that's part of what we want to do, but I think I'm going to get back down to this one. Yeah. All right, and I can show what happens here. So the idea is you see the picture and there's a description, and then eventually there's going to be a little bit of a dialogue, and at some point you decide if you want to guess it. And so if I say this is prototype, which it is, okay, and then I go to a different room. Now I'm in this room, it still thinks the guess is prototype. Really, I think it should be saying, I don't know. Okay. Because the first time you go in a room, you should be at I don't know. It shouldn't guess whatever the last room was. And I believe the reason for this is with a selection is wrong on the dialogues. All right, so we're going to try another round of this. It didn't work out last time. I'll let it go if we don't get a good solution this time either. But that's what we're trying for. Okay, so let's see. I guess we want to go to the view, which is still in this main file. I don't know if I can. Yeah, that'll help. Okay. So the heart of the view, all right. It's got the scene, it's got the guessing, and the doors. Okay. I think guessing doors should really be exits, but that's another another change. All right. So the right answer is you ask the dungeon um, for this current room, what's the answer? Okay. And then we use that over here. Guess is right answer. Okay. Your guess, right answer. Okay. So notice it's asking for the current room, and the select is the thing that's got it going there. Yeah, so patterns TBD because we stopped working with that. Okay. So two options is going to generate the option statements. So a select has is the well, it's going to use those list of options to show what it wants, I guess. The on input is saying if anybody selects something, then just that's a guess pattern message, and we should go do that. But the two options is the one we're going to focus on. And again, we're kind of flying without a net here. I don't know how much I want to test a bunch of HTML. It's kind of, I really don't. But what we're doing here is producing, well, we're trying to produce options with the certain ones selected. And I think, well, very slow. Okay. I think what we can do is use that on the list. Okay, so given a list of strings, these are the patterns. Okay, the names of all the patterns. All right, and up here somewhere we've got that. The list of patterns. I don't know observer prototype proxy. Okay, so today we just generate option prototype proxy. All right, but we really want to generate options with selected value set. All right, so I'm gonna find. Well, let's open up a new. Oh, we can do it on this other page. We might even have it here still. Option selected attribute. All right. You can mark in the selected which one is active or selected. Actually, you can select a bunch if you want to, but you can say selected, and in the Elm library, the selected lets you set a Boolean, so I guess you can set it true or false. Let's see if we can get there. And this is an attribute, so we'll make sure it goes on the attribute side. This is attribute and content, so it should be an extra argument in here. All right, so this should be on HTML. I hope everything's going through. HTML, okay. And we want attributes. Let's find selected. All right, selected takes a Boolean, so we can set the attribute with Boolean for that thing true. Okay, so let's go back to IntelliJ. All right, so if basically I want to mark selected, when do I want to mark it? Well, I want to mark it when string equals selected. And I think we get inline arguments. Now this may have to import. Well, theoretically that's okay. All right, do I have these running still? Yes, and well, I'll hit save and we'll see if this thing activates. It's awfully slow to start here. All right. Let me just check something for a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if that'll speed things up. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we're getting our test or not. Well, let's see what happens if we execute on this page. Okay, selected value is not a function, but it was given one argument. Why is it not a function? Oh, I've used the same name twice. Okay. This thing selected. All right, let's try a different name here. Okay, this is the selected pattern. And that matches this one. Okay, there we go. We're coming alive. Slowly. Now, I don't anticipate a test complaining because this is... Well, we did test this. Interesting. Okay, so convert. Converts array of strings to array of options. I guess main test, maybe? Yep. Well, I guess the test is wrong now because we do expect to find A is not selected, but B is. So we expect it to find selected true here, capital T. We'll need to import that. Okay. And this test, convert array of strings to array of options, ignoring selection if not in list. Oh, well, these are going to be selected false. I don't know if that's needed. Or even counterproductive. All right. And let's see if that changes anything. Okay, so we have I don't know selected. We'll take prototype. We'll open a door. This thing still says prototype. Okay. Now, we got to look at where that selection is coming from. Is it coming from the right place? Okay. Oh, well, we got TBD here. All right. I guess we want current guess for model. Now, current guess changes as we go through the model, so that's okay, I guess. All right, so again, we'll start at the top. Okay, select prototype or anything. Okay. Proxy, I don't know. Okay, well, for the hour I spent wandering around on this one the day before, this is pretty good. Okay, you come back to this room, it's still proxy. Go to this room. All right, go in this room. It's I don't know. If we go back to the main room, should still be proxy. Okay. Yay. Definitely easier than I thought. Okay, so let's go back here. We'll re-execute this. Make sure our to-do is drop-down starts with current room's guess. Okay, that's accurate. We're not quite doing TCR with this approach, but I'm going to try and check in more often, and I think pulling it off of this is close enough to helpful that that's going to be good. Okay, so the drop-down starts with the current room's guess. That seems good. We'll claim our progress here. Okay, now the answer, I'd like this to be different. I don't want to come out and say right answer is prototype unless they've actually guessed prototype. What should we be saying? Well, I think I don't know. We should answer, we shouldn't say anything. If the guess is wrong, we want to say you guessed maybe just something like sorry, that's not it, or something. And then if it's right, we want to say, yes, you're right. Whatever happens in that case. Okay. And then the dialogue, I want to introduce that as a new thing. So I don't know. This is right answer as prototype is not helpful. Let's see if we can fix this. Get this section working. So also there's some styling going on here. Like after the H2, there's way too much space, and the drop down is really small looking compared to the text here. Now I like a moderately good sized text, but yeah, I don't know. This is really just too small. Okay, so that's a style. Those are two style issues. Let's deal with this. Answer what's the pattern. Okay, if you do that, I don't know goes to nothing. Right answer goes to we'll work on the text later. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, so right now in main.elm, we're guessing, your guess, this. Okay, I think this is the thing. This is the text we want to change. And I think let's make a method out of this. Okay, so put the method here. And then let's say pattern answer, maybe judging. Okay, so you judge pattern answer. Well, we definitely need the model. And we probably need the right answer. Okay, so if we do this, let's call it judge pattern answer model right answer. This should be happy. All right. And then this should still look like it does. Okay. I don't know what to do about these strings in here. Like, I don't know. But isn't there, okay, my Elm syntax. I've got a cheat sheet. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's a when clause thing or it's just if else ifs. I'm just seeing the if else ifs. Okay. So do we need the model? I don't think we do. I think let's make this the current guess. Whoops. Of model, and then let's make this guess and okay. All right. I don't think that can change anything based on what we have, but that's okay. All right, now let's... I don't know. I don't have intuitions for when I'm mixing model and view here with this Elm approach. But if somebody, if the current guess is equal to I don't know, well, then we just want to return empty text. And then let's do this, else, okay, if oops, that's guess. If the guess is I don't know, then we're not going to tell them anything. If the guess is the right answer, then we're going to do something, and then else. Now this was all text a minute ago, so let's make it text again. Brackets. I may have to diff. No, it really is just text, huh? I don't know what the complaint is then. Okay. Let's take this out. What did we say the answer would be? Right. And then, sorry, that's not it. Oh, is it then? Yeah. All right. That seems okay. Observers, sorry, that's not it. Prototype, right. Okay. Again, there's some spacing we can do and all that stuff, but at least we have something that depends on the right stuff. And then I think I want to take these texts out and just return the answer itself. So text of that. All right. So what we've done, again, make sure this reflects what's the pattern. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and push. All right, now we've done that. Puzzle displays dialogue, trigger, and response. Okay, well, that's Let's see where we are on this. We have puzzle. I kind of want to make some type aliases here. I'm working on a new keyboard. Okay. All right. Now I can take the comment out. I think I can put these two together without confusing myself. All right. So what we have is the alias tells us the name of the pattern, the answer basically, and it has this dialogue section. So the dialogue section is going to show up before what's the pattern, and maybe it's like, what do you do? All right. And these need to be filled in. Let's see what we have. Main.elm. Let's focus on that again. Up here where we create the dungeon. All right. Well, you can see puzzle, prototype, and there's no dialogue. Now, where's this dialogue come from? Well, I think I have a window for that. Yes. Okay, so there's a guide, and we'll take this copy, which I think is the most recent, but we're going to do some checking over at some point. It's, well, 2008 may or may not be the most recent. I think 2011 maybe we used it for something, but it may well be 10 years since we played with this. But this document, it's still opening. All right, but this is the Pattern Master's Guide, the analogy to the Dungeon Master in a Dungeons and Dragons game. It tells what to do. So normally, in real life, we had little cards, and so like the picture of the room, we had that on a large file card, and the person, the Pattern Master in this case, when they entered a room, they would show them this picture and walk them through, ask them what they wanted to do. Okay. And they could try various things out, and the Pattern Master would explain what happened in those situations. So the dialogue is my imitation of that. It would be nice if it had some little clever bits, perhaps, but in general, I think, we'll at least capture stuff that's in the document for that. Now, I can probably make something up, but one thing is clear: this is getting unwieldy. Maybe that's the first. And there's kind of becoming a lot of pieces too. And these are the exits. Okay. So that's kind of one room description. And I might indent these just to be. Okay. So room 1 has this image, this description, this puzzle, which has the answer, and then this dialogue stuff. And then these are the room exits. Okay, now how's Word coming along here? Oh, so slow. All right, well, rather than get too stuck, I think I will just make up stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's find. Well, I think this one has the box. Okay, yeah. So when PM notes, okay, pressing the button causes a puff of smoke and it causes an identical box to appear. This effect repeats when they say the pattern name. All boxes disappear but one. I don't know if I'm going to bother with that last part. I'm not going to show the boxes. This is very much relying on your imagination. Okay. I don't know what else we could think of doing, but maybe it would be nice to have one or two things. So, well, one thing we can do is press the button. And if we do that, this is, what is this? It's a pair. I guess that makes it a parenthesized expression, right? So press the button, and let's steal the language. There's a puff of smoke and identical box appear nearby. I guess that's what it wants. Okay, so the idea is there's things that the party might decide to do. Press the button. There's a puff of smoke and an identical box appears nearby. What else we can do? Well, I think they're all going to start off the same, right? It's choose an action and no text for it. All right. Okay. And shake the box. Nothing happens. Trying to guess what else we might think to do. Okay, I think that's a good selection. A little design. All right, so this will be another dialog box, and I guess these things will be on it. And you can do them. They repeat. It's okay if you repeat. All right. And I think that's enough to get us on the first the first list here. Okay, so I guess we're not putting periods. All right. So what do we want to happen? Well, it goes back to main. Down here, I want a new section. Okay, so this is the scene. This next thing is, I guess it's acting on the model. Acting on model. And we haven't defined acting. All right. So acting model is going to be a div with no particular attributes and a list of stuff. And one thing is an H2 what do you do? Okay, that's a good start. And what's going to happen? Well, let's run that. Whoops. Save. Reload. Should see a new section, nothing in it. All right. And let's give it a dialog. Okay. On input, we'll do something. Well, I think this is well, I don't know what we want to call it, an action. All right, and then I'm going to make an empty list for now. Okay, so what's up? Well, action definitely needs a definition. So our message is a new action you can do is action, and I guess this is action text. Well, let's just call it string for now. We'll get there some point. Oh, we do have case. Okay. What's your deal? Oh, I don't have all these defined yet. Okay. How's it down here? H2, oops, comma select. All right, so our case, what should we do if somebody selects an action? Action text. Well, the easiest thing is just return the model. I'm trying to get these consistent. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. All right, so we're just going to ignore it. We're just going to say whatever you do, we just return the same thing. And again, I'm just kind of trying to get the framework in place. Should get a drop down. Okay, and it's empty because we don't have any stuff in there. All right, we've been going a while. I think we're to the point of putting some stuff in that dialog and letting you select it and do something to it. So let's take a break, 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll come back and populate this thing instead of making an empty list and go from there. All right, see you in 2 or 3 minutes. Bye-bye. Hi, welcome back. All right, so I'm going to move 2 options up a little bit. Just kind of try and put it a little closer to the place that's using it. So we called judge pattern answer. Let's get 2 options in here. And we need something pretty similar here. I don't know, it may be so similar it's identical. Let's change this name to selected option. And I might even have a refactoring here. It doesn't have very many, but that might be one of them. Rename. Selected option. Okay. And I think you're giving it a bunch of strings and a selected option. Well, right now we have none, so that's okay. All right, so acting. Well, it's going to be like this. 2 options. And then it's not patterns, but it's some list of strings. And let's give it a TBD. Okay. This list of strings it's from the dungeon. Well, how are we getting there? If we take the current room, what do we get? I don't know if we can navigate through this. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Current room on the model, which should be here. No. Dungeon. What's our model? Model is state. Let's put that a little bit in order. All right. Well, state has the current room, the visited, and the guests. Okay, so the current room gives us the name of the room that we can look up in the dungeon. Dungeon is room name to room. So if we give it a room name, a dungeon, we get back a room. We're trying to get down to our dialogue. Wow. This is so buried. All right, what do I want? I want, given the room, I want the dialogues for it. Okay. Given the model, let's see. Given the model, what's my current room? Do I know that? I know the current room. Okay, so given the current room, I want to ask the dungeon, what's my dialogue? All right. And then let's go the other way, can I get the dialogue from the puzzle? Well, I already can with .dialogue. But if you ask me if the room, I don't know, I'm kind of filling in the steps one at a time. If you ask a room, what's the dialogue, can he get it? Yes, he can go ask the puzzle for it. All right, so let's get to room test. And, I'm working bottom up basically. I can get it directly from the puzzle. Don't have a room test? Okay, let's add one. New L module. Okay, and I'll just steal the format from here. And close it off. A couple of brackets. I think that's it. And then this is the body of our test. All right. Let's see. So I'm going to create a room. Well, I'm going to call a function dialog. Maybe it's room.dialog. From this room, and we must create rooms somewhere. Well, all this stuff. I'm not going to worry about those. Okay. Well, I think this can be just like this. Room. I guess that's okay on one line. Okay, I've got a puzzle. I've got a sample room. And if you ask me for the dialogue for the sample room, I'm going to expect it to equal this. Okay. And this is, I guess we'll call it access in general. A room knows its dialogue. Okay, so if you ask the dialogue for a room, it gets the response. This doesn't exist. Room goes to, and it's going to be dialogue trigger, dialogue response. Okay. And dialogue for a room is the puzzle for the room. Pull out the dialogue. Okay. What's your problem? Well, that looks pretty darn close to the other one. Dialogue of room equals puzzle room. Well, we'll see what's the complaint. The body is list. Oh, it should be a list. And I guess this... Right. Okay, let's fix the main. And I guess my answer could be empty list for now. Let's just make sure that the test is failing. Okay. Right. All right. So a room knows its dialogue. Now we need to ask the dungeon. I guess this is given a room name and a dungeon. Can you give me the dialogue? All right. Well, this is interesting. Okay. We have a dungeon test somewhere. Oh, over here. And I don't know the value of these accessors, but dungeon does dialog for room name. I guess we'll do something like that. Okay, dungeon equals dungeon from list. And if you pipe that to, oh, I guess we'll do in dungeon dialog for room 1 given dungeon should be so this is what we expect to come back out. That. Okay. Now dialog is room name dungeon goes to list of dialog trigger dialog response. We'll make it empty for now. Pick up these. Okay, this test should fail. Okay, and it really should do a lookup. Name dungeon. Should pass. All right, are we getting there? Do we need it in state? I don't know. Let's get over to main. Well, two options. Okay, if you take the current room of the model, did I just waste my time? Oh, dungeon dot. Okay, let's take dungeon.dialog for the current room and the dungeon. Okay, I think I know the problem here. And TBD. All right, the problem, I think, yeah, it wants just the one side. It wants the trigger. So let's do a let dialog equal this. And I gotta look. I was trying to find a let. Did we do one up here with two? Let's see what happens. Options equals this. Okay, if we passed options, well, how about option names? Oh, we still need to call options. Two options. Nice. Let's do, oops. Let's do a save. Reload this. We should get one manual test. All right. This should be more automatic. All right. So now I've got the dialog, which is the type of dialog is list of dialog trigger, dialog response. The option names really should be a map of the dialog. And I know we've done a list map. Okay. Oh, it's the thing and then the argument. Okay. Lambda. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So we need a lambda and we give it the dialog. I don't know. Dialogs. Okay. So what do we want to do? Well, given a pair, how do you do that? I don't know if I can do a pair. Trigger response goes to trigger. Okay, so I think I don't get to use underscores in Elm. Okay, but what I'm doing is I'm taking those dialogs, which is a pair of trigger responses, and I'm only going to show the trigger and use that in the options. Okay, and I'm not worrying about selection just yet. I'm just trying to get the triggers shown. Save that, and it's more in here than anywhere. Choose an action. That's promising. Okay, that's looking real. Shake the box, press the button, say my name. All right. Oh. So when they do this, I'm going to make this triggers. Refactor, Shift F6. I thought that's what I did. There it goes. Triggers. Okay, so I want to select the list of triggers, and then I want an answer if they select a certain trigger. Well, when they select a trigger, basically what happens is the value gets sent as the command. And then the string selected, that's fine. Text string. Maybe this should be more generalized. I mean, what I want is some text. And just like judge pattern answer, I want to show the corresponding text. Can I do it? Like, what if I would like to have the response be the value and then just display it on input action? I don't know. Maybe I have to. Let's see. We got the same kind of situation. We have the current room. Well, where's the pattern? Oh yeah, the gases is tied to the room. I think the actions maybe have to tie to it too. So the guess gives you for each room the currently selected pattern. I think we're going to need some state that's the currently selected action. And then we can use that to display a response. Okay. Well, it's doable. Now, what is action going to do? Well, yeah, I mean, this is where we would insert that and use it. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll do the analogous thing there. We'll make some actions. We'll keep track of the current room and the currently selected action, and then we can look that up in the dialog and get the trigger that corresponds. Now, or we could we put the current values? I don't know if that'd be better. All right. Anyway, we're due for another break, so we'll take 2 minutes and then we'll come back and add the equivalent of actions to our dictionary stuff, or a new dictionary for that, and use that in the display for the action. So here we need to display based on the dialogue that has that action. All right, a little tricky, but we'll get there. See you in 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, okay, there we are. All right. So our dungeon needs some more. No, our state needs some more information. And oh boy, I think. Well, let's put it in as actions for now. I could definitely see. I mean, I've got 2 dictionaries keyed on the identical thing. Like, couldn't I just get one thing out for it? I probably could. I don't know if it'd be better or not. But what I think I want to ask, or the question I want to answer is, what is the last selection of your actions? All right, and that has to be explicit state. And I think that's going to be, how about current action? Let's put a test in for that. State test. Okay. I guess I'm going to have analogous tests here, aren't I? And I don't know. Well, choose an action, ... And we're adding a new argument. Pattern, and we're going to add another argument that is another dictionary from list. And this one is current goes to trigger 1. Well, is that true? Let's start with an empty one. Okay, and it's complaining because there's no fifth argument or fourth argument or whatever it is. All right, but if I did this and I got the current action, I would expect that to be equal to choose an action. Let's say it just uses default value. Okay, so the constructor's wrong and the method is wrong. And let's get the method in there. Action goes current action goes from a state to a string. Well, a dialog trigger. And we'll do a TBD for now. Okay, that import. Okay. All right, and let's make an unknown action. I would have thought a string would be perfectly fine here. Current action doesn't, oh, I gotta define it, yeah. Okay. Now I should still get complaints about the constructors not having enough stuff. Right. State expects 3, but it got 4. Well, we're going to allow 4 now. All right, so we're going to add actions, which is a dictionary room name to dialog trigger. Be right back. Excuse me. Okay, what's the matter? Actions. Okay, yeah, that should be okay. Now, everybody else that uses it, they should have a problem. Like all over state test. And main, and a bunch of other places. Okay. So I've got to add another dictionary. And I don't know, this stuff is getting big. 4 arguments is kind of as most as I would want. And that one's okay. All right, what else we got? Main. Stateroom initially empty. Who else? Main.elm 64. State new room. Guess is a model. well, I guess dot actions of model. Since we just added that. Now, eventually we expect to get a failing test. State test. Oh. What all is wrong? State test line 19. Okay, that looks suspicious. I will grant you. Oh, I missed a couple. Line 16. Oh, main test. Starting test. Okay, we're working on a failing test. Just one, I hope. Yep. TBD, should we choose an action? All right, that was in state. And we can use unknown action for the moment. All right. Oh, come on. All right, we want a similar one to this one. Wait a minute. Dungeon knows dialogue for room name. Room 1. Oh, I don't want state tests. I mean, I want state test. Okay. Default value for unknown, but then this one. State knows action when current room has one. And I don't know, I end up using defaults a lot, and I think that's just that there's something wrong with doing that, but I'm not going to fight through it now. All right, so this is the current room, and let's just give it my trigger. Okay. test should fail. For the right reason, yes. Oh, still good. I thought I passed that one. Guess I wasn't watching closely enough. I expect one test to fail, and I've got two failing. Choose an action, choose an action. Choose an action, ... quote. All right, one failing test gets pattern. Where is it getting pattern? How about current action? I mean, how wrong would I be doing this if I weren't doing these things? Oh, choose an action, but we expect my trigger. Yes, that's the right thing. Okay, and I have to say the results or the code is going to be just about the same as this one. And it'll have unknown action instead of unknown guess. Current room, we don't want the guesses. We want the actions in state. Okay. Yay. All right, now let's use it. Okay, so we're dropping in the list of options, but we're not taking account of the returned value, the current one yet. All right, and I guess the demo of that is, let's reload this. Where the picture got off to. If I choose the action, press the button, I go to a different room, I come back, it doesn't say press the button anymore. Now you might want to argue it shouldn't, but I'm going to leave it. Yeah. All right, let's make it carry through. Okay, so in this one, we don't want this TBD. We're going to do the same kind of thing we did up here. We had the current guess of model. We want to take the current action of model. All right. I mean, but that's only one piece. So you might like to think that's going to do something, but it's not. Unfortunately. Shake the box, go to a new room, go back to the original room. We're back to choose an action. And the reason is we would look up the current action, but we never changed the current action. That's got to happen in our model, our update, rather. Okay. And basically, well, I don't know. Can I? Let's see. Did we do this here? Yeah, we did. Okay, let's do it here. Okay, I'm going to take these two cases and modify them because they're very similar. All right, so this is update action. The update action updates the guess. Current room has no action. And the same thing here, action updates the action when the room already has an action. Okay, this is action, action. And updates the action when the current room has no action. Well, I guess room 1 visited has no action. Okay. So if you do this, we want to get this where the actions is room 1 to some action. Okay. And then the room 2, the other case, well, I'm going to give it an action. Is room 1 visited updated with guesses, no, actions equals dictionary from list. Room 1 has some action. Okay, and if my action is another action, then I expect my actions to update to room 1 has another action. Okay, 2 tests should fail. Okay, this one should be that. This one should switch to the other one. Okay, and I think again it's very analogous. So analogous that I wonder what I'm missing. But anyway, if you take the actions and you insert model.current action, with action text, model.actions. Model.current action. What do we call that? Current action of state. What's the matter? Model dot current guess is state to string. And the current action is that. Action of state. Well, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. Model.current action. Somehow model has a dot current room, but no current action. Ooh. I need the current action as well. No, I guess the current room is right. It is the model's current room. But we're looking in model.actions. Okay. Yay. All right. Now let's go over here and run this thing. Okay. All right, so if I choose an action, say my name, and I go to a different room, he should have, well, he's empty because we didn't write anything for this room yet. He comes back and he's still saying my name. If I press the button and I go somewhere else, and I go back, oops, go back. Okay, I lost something there. All right, press the button. Oh, that's the right one. Yeah, didn't go back to choose an action. Okay, so we're keeping track of the last thing. Now, the last bit, and I don't know if 10 minutes is enough, we want to add the response after it. Okay, and I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, what this is going to be the text of the response. Okay, and we'll just throw it in here just to kind of start closing in on it. Okay, I guess we'll put a break, kind of like we did down here. Okay, so on action, we get the trigger, we show the current option. The response should be coming from somewhere else. Well, I don't know. We had judge pattern answer down here because it's complicated. I don't think it's quite as complicated. I think what we have to say is, given all right, I need the current action the current action stored in those actions because I got to select that one coming back. Okay, because I got a match on that. All right, now what I want to do is I want to say, if you give me, well, basically, if I know the current room, and the dialogs, I don't even know if I need the current room. I got the dialogs, and if I know the current action, well, I just want to look up, go through the dialogues and find the one with the same trigger, basically. Well, current action model is the string. Is the trigger. Okay, so if I took, I mean, this should be a little one-liner, right? This is a list, so let's see what list has to do the job here. It's not map, it's not indexed. Well, it's filter. So if I had a function that you give me a value, I tell you if it's satisfactory. I think that's right. And then, I don't know, I want to say first, because it's going to exist. And this is where I keep running into maybe member. I've got to have some way to get something out of a list. Deconstruct. Head gives me a maybe. Okay, but I can do it. So let's get back to filter. So I give it a lambda function that takes one element and a list, and it gives me a list. Okay, so the lambda function, well, that was filter. List of filter. Okay, the lambda function is lambda well, my list contains pairs, goes to something. That has to be a Boolean decision. Okay, so this is a trigger response, and this is the element I want if trigger equal to I'm gonna extract another piece. My action. Okay. If that in the list of dialogues, is that all we need? That should give me a list back. I want to get the front. That's the head. Okay. I want to pipe that to the head. I can already see I'm getting buried here. Pipe to head. Okay, and this is kind of a shouldn't happen thing. I'll say list.head. Okay, and then what am I doing over here? Okay, let's extract this. And just like before, we're going to make this judge pattern answer. We're going to say get action response. And we're going to need dialogs. Well, we're going to need a trigger. No, we're going to need my action, the dialogs, and that should be it. Equals, and now let's try and do this in there. And this is get action response, my action, and dialogs. Okay. Well, I heard my bell, and that means it's 3 o'clock. So we're gonna this is not quite right. So it's time to stop. Okay. We'll stop here. I've got a red syntax error. We'll fix that next week. So next time is this coming Friday, the 10th. Is that right? No, the 8th. Yeah, the 8th. And 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. I think we're very close on this. I think I just have to pull out the right member and we'll be there. So see you next time. And if not, hopefully in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.